What's going on, guys? What's going on, everybody? So, so the OKC Thunder won the championship last night, and congrats to them. This game was like any other game 7 that could have been played, where both sides just wanted it. Both sides wanted to win this game. And we have to give OKC a lot of credit. They had home court, and their fans were behind them the entire time. And the one thing that I like about OKC is how they like each other and how they all like each other. And the one thing that I think OKC will help, the one thing that I think OKC, this championship will probably bring this team together. This team that won a championship. Well, honestly, this team that won a championship would honestly mean a lot to these guys. Mean a lot to Shea. Mean a lot to Lou Dort. Mean a lot to Jalen Williams. Like, this championship, because this team, this OKC team, likes being around each other. The only big question is, now who are you going to keep? Who are you going to keep this offseason? Because we just saw Kevin Durant be traded to the Rockets. We saw Desmond Bain be traded to the Magic. The whole NBA is watching them. The whole NBA is definitely watching the OKC Thunder now that they won that championship. And this isn't like OKC going to win a championship. Like, is this a start of a dynasty? Yeah, maybe. Because we said that about the Celtics a year ago. We said that about the Lakers a couple of years ago. We said that about the Warriors. Every year that a team wins a championship, and this is the second time ever. This is the first time that they win a championship. But everybody's watching the OKC Thunder right now. Everybody is trying to figure out how they're going to beat the OKC Thunder. Like, OKC can enjoy this championship, but come October, all of these teams in the offseason are going to get better and going to say, well, this team, that team looks good. The thing is that when we see a OKC team get to the finals in 2012, and then get back to the finals this year. And this is a team that won a championship since been the youngest team ever to win a championship in 48 years. 48 years. This is the youngest team to win a NBA championship. To win a championship in 48 years. The youngest team to win a championship. That's amazing to see. But when we see how this OKC Thunder team played, how they all came together, how they beat the Denver Nuggets in 7 games in the playoffs, how they just now beat the Pacers in Game 7. Now, for Indiana, you have to give the Indiana Pacers a lot of credit here, because any Pacers fans should be proud of what their team did this year. And my prayers go out to Halliburton because of his injury. We have seen players like Don Mitchell get injured this year. Damian Lillard get injured this year. Tatum get injured this year. And this is just like something that we have to look at, because now the question is, can OKC win another championship, go back to back? The question is, winning a championship. That means a lot. But we know that when we watch these Game 7s, like the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics in 2010, Game 7, we seen the Miami Heat and San Antonio Spurs in Game 7. Like, when we watch Game 7s, this was the biggest game ever for OKC and the Pacers. Whoever says that some will say that, well, this finals wasn't good, Hey, we're in a new era where we are seeing new champions. We have a 7th different champion in the NBA now. And we're seeing OKC. Like, get to the finals this year. We said that about the Denver Nuggets. We said that about the Celtics last year. We said that about when the Lakers won. We said that about when the Spurs won in 2014. Like, is this the next dynasty? I do think that when we go and say, like, which team is the next dynasty, we can say that every Game 7 Like, we have had 3 Game 7s in the NBA championship. And, like, when we watch these Game 7s, like I said, is that we see these guys play hard for a Game 7. And that is what OKC did. They got to the finals. Nobody even knew that OKC or the Pacers wouldn't be in the NBA Finals. Nobody knew that. When we look at these teams and say that these two teams, the West is more tough because now the Rockets just traded for Kevin Durant. The West has LeBron James, Luka, Jokic, Steph, Draymond. Like when we look at the West is more tough than the East Conference. Now, if we were sitting here today and saying, well, the Pacers won, if we were sitting here today and saying the Pacers won, we would basically say that the Pacers would have won 2 championships. But we aren't saying that about the Pacers. We aren't saying about the Pacers today. Because if the Pacers won, we would say that OKC, the Pacers could win back-to-back. The East Conference, let me just bring this up. The East Conference, you have the Pacers, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Celtics. You have those teams in the mix next year to win a title. You have OKC still. You have the Warriors, the Lakers, the Denver Nuggets in that same group. In the Rockets. But when we say that OKC won the championship this year, honestly, I'm just going to say this. This is the youngest team in 48 years to win a title. And we can give OKC a lot of credit because this OKC team has done something that when Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden went to the finals in 2012, something that team could have not done than this OKC team. And I'm not taking away that OKC team with Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden, what they did was get to the finals. What I'm saying is, if that OKC team in 2012 won a title, we would be saying that right now, with this OKC team winning a title, we would say that hey, this team right now has two banners hanging in the Raptors, has two championships. But we're not saying that because this is OKC's first championship ever since the Supersonics got to the finals with Gary Payton, with Sean Kemp back in '96, and then with James Harden, Westbrook, Kevin Durant. We could say all of that at the end of the day. That both of these teams, got to this team got to the finals. And we have to give the Pacers a lot of credit. And my prayers go out to Halliburton because we've seen this type of Achilles injury to Kevin Durant. We've seen this injury to Jason Tatum, to Damian Lillard. And my prayers go out to all of those guys that are dealing with those Achilles injuries. But we've seen Kevin Durant deal with that Achilles injury in the 2019 finals against Toronto. Like, when we see something like this go down, the biggest question is, like, Halliburton is going to come back because Halliburton was voted overrated. Had 4 game winners. This OKC team was good at making comebacks all year long. We could look at this OKC team and say, okay, this team made a lot of comebacks and a lot of good things. Like, you trade for Siakam, you trade for Nembhard, you trade for Halliburton for the Pacers. You have a good head coach in Rick Carlisle. Pacers fans, like I said before, should be happy that their team won a title. Because you don't know if the Pacers will get back there again. Because the team that wins a championship is like, we have to get back there again to win another championship. The team that doesn't win a championship is kind of like, we have to figure out a way to get back to the championship. Because it's hard getting back to the championship. It's hard winning championships. And that is what OKC is looking at. Is getting back to the championship. And trying to win and be the next dynasty. Because that is what we said about the Warriors. That is what we said about the Lakers. That is what we said about the Denver Nuggets. This isn't something new where we say is that if this is the new dynasty, what the Warriors did was won 2 without Kevin Durant, won 2 with Kevin Durant, won 2 without Kevin Durant. We seen that happen. We seen OKC win their first championship last night. But when we say that we thought this game was going to be very close to the very end because it was very, very close. That 5-minute mark, I think with 4 minutes left, OKC took a big lead that really turned the momentum. Because when you got the home court advantage, when you got a team like OKC, this is something that, okay, can you win? Or can you not win? Because now it's like, can OKC be the next dynasty after winning a championship? That is what the question is. Because you have, like, OKC winning Game 7 and not looking back. But when you lose a game 91-103, like OKC won the first quarter 25-22. OKC lost the second quarter 26-22. OKC lost the third quarter. OKC won the third quarter 34-20. OKC lost the second quarter, lost the fourth quarter, 22-23. And when we look at the box scores, Siakam 16-2-4, Naismith 6-1-3, Miles Turner 4-1-6, Nembhard 15 points. Halliburton 9. Makarin 24-3-13. Ben Makarin 24-3-13. If Halliburton was out there, which I hope Halliburton comes back 100% better. But if Halliburton was out there, we would say that the Pacers would win the championship. And OKC wins the championship in 7 games. They've been through a 7th game before against the Denver Nuggets. So this wasn't nothing new to them. This was just a Game 7, another Game 7 for OKC. But when we look at OKC side of things, Jalen Williams, 24-4. Chet Holmgren, 18-8. Hardenstein, 9-4-7. Shea, 29-12-5. Alex Caruso, 10, off the bench. Like, when you have a OKC team that can win a title and have certain guys like Alex Caruso that been to the NBA Finals, we can say that this was probably a good NBA Finals. But when we look at the team stats, Pacers shot the ball 29 times out of 70 to OKC's 35-87. from 3-point land, the Pacers won that. 21 turnovers for the Pacers to OKC 7. That is what the Pacers are going to have to look at, is how they lost a game to OKC with 21 turnovers. Points in the paint, OKC won that. The question is OKC the next dynasty? But guys, sub if you're new, and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And peace.